Hey everybody, Rodman here. Thanks for tuning in to Kenshi Birth of a Hive, episode 14. If you need a recap of the rules or goals, here they are. Just a quick reminder, I am collecting feedback for you for changes for rules and goals on my Discord channel. So if you have feedback for me, now's the time to hop on Discord and drop it into the suggestion box. And let's get moving. So, everyone's a little bit out of order than I left them here, which confused me at first. But I do believe Thor is still the slowest mover here at 18. Because Red Rain is being carried. And we're going to start heading home with this bunch. Now, one thing I would like to do is, once I get home, I will set sort of a home crew. Now, the people that are manning the home aren't going to stay there unless the patron that they are owned by... All right, let me try to explain this more clearly. Angel is a patron of mine. She said that she would very much like to be a cook for the hive, and she will always stay at home and cook. Therefore, she will not likely ever be combat. For everyone else, I don't intend for the average hive drone to just be left at home to do menial work, because that's not really what this hive is all about. So they're all going to take turns cycling in and out, doing their own combat things, and for right now, I think the best idea I have is to try to level them up against lower level or more easily killable character or enemies, which means leaving the hive from up here and heading down somewhere around the border, Sten desert area, somewhere where I might be able to take out people. Or even the City United Heroes League over here. They're pretty easy to kill too. But, yeah, I need to do some training. Oh, someone got enslaved. You can always tell because there's sandals on the ground. And blood everywhere. Do some training with the new people and get them geared up. So, speaking of geared up, I sort of have to decide who's going to do armor crafting. It's not a hard, fast rule. Oh, hey. You guys... right now you're just hurling slurs. You're not actually hostile with me. Soon I'm sure you will be, but I got somewhere to be and stuff to do. And you guys just are here to troll me, so I'm going to go walk on. Now, another thing I could do with Ches and Thor and Ron is trigger taunt. The soldier's a little bit tougher, and they level up toughness even faster, so it's really not that bad of an... Oh, we have some... Now they're attacking me. It's not that bad of an idea to have the soldier's taunt, and in doing so, you know, keeping everyone else a little bit safer. So I'm going to put the soldiers at the back of the lineup, just so that it's easier to select them more quickly. Who are you? Twitch, an escaped slave. Well, you're running straight at the Heroes League. Better watch where you're going. Now, this is the hero boss with some crappy rusty katana. I could fight these guys. You know what? I bet... Well, So, the thing is, I don't really have a lot of weapons. My guys... Some of my guys are literally fist fighting. But, you know, nothing ventured, nothing gained, right? So let's go ahead and put an end to these nincompoops that are hot on my six. I'm just going to make sure that Thor, Ron, and Ches all have at least some sort of weapon. Alright, so what we're going to do is have the... Let's attack all... Have the Rangers come over here so we don't get a lot of crossfire. And then release the beasts here. And because I outnumber them, any sort of numerical advantage I can get by swarming, I should take. And I will try to be a good cinematographer here for this fight. Green is good, red is bad. So Ches is getting a leg cut up a bit, as is Frenchie. doing a quick health check. Let's do. So, Queen in Silvershade. Silvershade should move, so next to Queen. They are ranging, so they're fine. Angel took an arm hit. Frenchie took a bad leg hit. Red Rain is really not doing so hot, but is okay. Animals heal quick. Jay is okay. Okay. Thorns is doing great, but Thorns is one of the toughest we have. Ron is doing amazing, but Ron's the best fighter probably in the group at the moment. The other soldiers are definitely sustaining some leg wounds. So what I'm going to do is reposition my bowmen, or women in this case, for one of them, to sort of help out. So Frenchie's down, but so are they. And they're down harder. Now the attack slots mod does benefit me when I am attacking with numbers. Jay is down significantly. That was a bad hit to the stomach. Frenchie, you are our doctor, right? You're a really good doctor? Oh yeah, your medic skill is second to none. In fact, what I'll do is Queen, oops, you are going to give your splint kit to Frenchie. And maybe another med kit. And then Frenchie, I'm going to make you splint holding shift as a full-time task. And the splints that we get out of Frenchie are going to be particularly good. Alright, Angel does not look like she's doing so hot over here, so I'm going to hobble away from that enemy. This dust storm is certainly not helping out my my crossbow skills. Alright, so red's down. We have a bunch of people down. Oh, Ferris is unfortunately down yet again. But no one is, like, critical. No one's missing limbs. None of that. Alright, so I'm first going to actually first aid Frenchie over here. Whoop, that's not Frenchie. That's Ferris. Frenchie. You... Let's first aid the people that are unconscious. And splint up your limbs so you can move around a little bit better. And get these people out of the red. And we're going to need to heal up. I do believe that, what was it? Do I not have... Oh, Thorns has our sleeping bags. Yes. Alright. This is probably a very bad place to camp, to be honest. But for the people that are unconscious, it's not like I have a whole lot of choice. Because they're unconscious. Alright, I will set rescue as a full-time job here too. And that way we should be able to throw them into the beds. Silvershade just used up the last of his meds. Let's spot him some. I don't know what his medicine skill... his medicine skill's okay. Now little scraps like this, they don't... It might not immediately look like they matter, but trust me when I say every little scrap like this builds up a significant amount of toughness and combat skill. And for all the ones that are currently unconscious, like this boss, for instance, Frenchie didn't even have a weapon, so there's huge gains to be made looting them as well. Unfortunately, for some reason, I can't loot that boss. Like, it's just not working. Oh, let's put you in bed. There we go. Boss, let's give this armor to Ches. Nope, let's just take the armor for ourselves. And take the Nadachi and take the meds. Then we'll get everyone to patch up. I should start grabbing all of their weapons so they can't use their weapons against me. But I beat them once, I can beat them again. That might be a little blasé of me to say, but it's true. Alright, so Red Rain is the only one that's hasn't been, that is unconscious, that hasn't been put into a bed. Pets, of course, heal at a greatly accelerated rate, so they're really, really useful for combat. Now, with that said, I'm only ever planning to have 2 of each, so they can't exploit their combat abilities, making the game even easier, for instance. Alright, I'm going to take off the gas mask here, and we can give that to Silver Shade. And then she will give these... I'll give that to Angel. Alright, so Queen has armor. Give that to Ches. Nope, Ches has armor. Give that to Thor. This shoddy one to Ferris. Just sort of spreading out the love here. Here's more armor. I could also take the boots. Wouldn't hurt to take their weapons too, just for the insolence. Oh, got caught stealing? Well, guess what? I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to put you down, and you're going to be unconscious. If you ever need to make them unconscious real quick, picking them up, putting them down, makes them unconscious. Why? Because... yeah, that's all the reason I need. Because. Frenchie, you're going to get some armor. Angel, or actually I'm going to wear this on Queen. Queen needs armor too, right? Angel armor. Now some of this armor might encumber us a little bit, so I got to be careful about not being over encumbered by it. But right now I think what's going to slow us down the most is the fact that people have wounded limbs. I don't think it will be the armor. Oh, that's higher grade stuff there. It's funny, I was literally saying that I'm looking for a fight to level up, and then a fight presents itself. Alright, so the 3 superior... oh, this is heavy and worthless. The 3 superior armor chest plates are on the soldiers. Good. Alright, then... Ferris needs some, okay. And Jay needs some as well. And then the ninja grade masks. These little bandanas don't do much. Shoddy. Shoddy, shoddy. Alright. Another thing we can do is to put all of the meds on the city hero, and it stacks it together, because the reason why it doesn't normally stack is because of owner ID tags, because they're stolen meds, I guess. And if we hand all of the meds to one of these random enemies, what ends up happening is they all have the same stolen ID tags. So all of these are still stolen, but they're all stolen by the same person, which is why they miraculously all of a sudden stack. So I'll demonstrate that once again. Hand both meds over, they stack up, and then I have a nice stacked amount of meds. And I could do that with all the meds here. Oh, is this person getting up? That's cute. You should have stayed down. And yeah, a bunch of them are getting up. They thought this is their moment. This is not your moment. This isn't your rise to a success. This is me practicing my sword skill, slicing you up to little bits, because you're a moron. I've disarmed all of them. In fact, I would not be surprised if I quite literally disarm some of them soon. Angel has 2 broken arms. She can't even fight. Alright, so, as I was saying, who had that? Alright, your masked helmet's in mine now. One of these guys had meds on them. This city hero's like bugging out. Oh, there we go. Well, I guess I used up my meds, so it's hard to demonstrate now. Let's check them for any more quality loot. This mast helmet's actually pretty good. Tin can helmet, meh. The mast one's higher quality. Those armor rags are just very heavy for their worth. This tin can is worth something. Okay, tin can. Frenchie, you get to wear that. Tangle Must. I'm going to have Queen wear it. Because that protects her from the dust storms. These regular tin cans can go on princes. And then these shoddy ones, no one needs. So I'll just keep the tin can for sale. Alright, let's take a quick look at health. I can speed time up. In fact, I'm going to pause for a moment and check back on our home crew. So as you can see, our dust witch stockpile is going up. Let's check on the farms. They look pretty good. This one needs water. It's about to get water, I think. Yep. It seems to me like we are at a lack of cactus. So, yeah, this next cactus harvest, I might want to grow another cactus farm. Because that's probably our bottleneck. For hemp, we are ready to... Oh, this is fully upgraded, so we can't even do anything with this hemp. Well, we can, but we don't need to. Looks like everything is sort of under control. We have power, we have production. We have some people that are idle, but I don't need everyone working all the time. Yeah, they're good. Alright, time to focus back on the queen and her escorts. Now, I do have to be careful of slavers or whomever. I'm in a weakened state because I was just in a big fight. So, you know, I'm potentially vulnerable. And I just have to be careful not to be taken advantage of by any would-be raiders. Now, Red Rain here is not going to do the running on his own. Or her own, whatever gender. So I'm going to rest up the people that have leg injuries. That's what I'm going to prioritize right now. Just so that I can start walking home. So, Thorns, you're going to give way to Frenchie. Jay can move around, although is really wounded. As can Ferris, but really wounded. So who else has mobility issues? Thor does. If it's just Thor... Then we can go back to healing people that just have grievous wounds. Like Ferris has really low arm. Now, if I really was playing it smart, I could walk to the nearest town and rest in their beds. Because I would be protected from skimmers and all that. But if I was to do that, I would need to carry some people there because... because not everyone can move adequately under their own power. Let's take a quick look at the weapons that we have. And Frenchie's little Wakasashi can be ditched for Underdachi, going from a little indoor weapon. And I'll have Queen hold this. It's a nice accompaniment to a crossbow, because it's small and we can swap to it. Alright, I'm going to do 3 speed because it's not like I'm really going anywhere. And what I could do is just keep watch, try to watch the surrounding areas through the haboob, and heal up in town once I can walk there adequately fast. Let's say 15 miles an hour. Because what does skimmers walk at? 14, I think? If I would need to pick up Frenchie, I could. That's always a possibility. There's also the obvious problem of food is short, and I'm running low. So I'm definitely going to want to get into town soon. So, alright, let's go ahead and go do that now. Get into town, pay for some beds, and grab some grub. Possibly even recruit some additional. You never know. Alright. Queen is encumbered, but not. She's not the slowest. Frenchie is. So we're all going to follow Frenchie, and Frenchie, you're going to lead us to Stoat. Very dusty. Anakin would not be pleased. Grew up as a moisture farmer. I can see why he hates sand. Oh, there's some bounties on these Empire peasants. Only paid by United Cities. An eventual sworn enemy, so definitely not claiming that bounty. Plus, these guys are hivers, aren't they? There tends to be bounties on hivers. I don't know what's going on, but that is a theme I see often. Alright, taking a look at Stoat. We're looking for their bar. I'm always a little slow on the uptick about where their bar is. And then also their slave market too, because... Alright, so here's one bar. And then their slave market we'll take a look too. See if there's anyone to recruit. I don't have a whole lot of money. Oh, that's Ron. But, you know, if there's wiggle room to recruit someone, that sounds good to me. Let's make a deal. I'm going to sell you a bunch of helmets I'm not going to use, and you're going to give me cats for them. And then I'm going to buy a whole lot of meat and head upstairs and pay for some beds. Now, prices aren't exorbitant. I can afford it. So we have a lot of people resting. I'm going to put Red Rain down and make my way over to the slave markets. I didn't see anyone in this bar. I'll take one good look again. Another, well, alright, has everyone just eaten? I believe they all have had options to, because Queen had food in her backpack, and the animals might not have had the option to, but everyone else did. Speaking of that, let's go arrange that a little bit better. I'm not putting them in any particular order, just grouped up. Resident small, police. The slave is right there. Okay. So generally, you can just see who's available by checking the cages. Right? Because I see a Scorchlander, 3 Greedlanders, and that's it. So let's make sure that that squares. I missed a Greenlander somewhere, but yeah. It's pretty obvious when they're for sale or not. What are these guards doing? That was some high-level indecision right there. Alright, any of these guys that fully heal up, they can give their beds up to some additional wounded. Let's go pick up thorns. Oh, there's some sort of squabble going out. Some vagrants being arrested. You do realize you pick a fight with the guards, you're gonna lose, and then you're gonna get enslaved. And that's just the way this society works, for better or for worse. Mostly for worse. Alright, Ferris is almost healed up. And then Ches can take his place. I think Angel was the most wounded in that fight. Frenchie is almost healed up as well. Let's put, oh, where's, Thorns? Thorns is moments away from being fine. But once you rent the bed, you have the bed for a bit. So it's not like I'm re-renting it every time I put new people in it. I'm just cycling who's resting and who's not. Thor's done. Red Rain. We'll heal you. As a pup, Bone Dog Pup is not going to be able to do a whole lot of combat, but doesn't mean I want them wounded because basically the first thing to get, you know, if they get knocked unconscious, they're going to get butchered. And I don't really want butchered dogs. That sounds bad to me. Alright, Queen, you have a rest, not because you need one, but because it uses less food. Jay's done. Queen is teleporting around the beds. Ches is done. At this point, I could just lay there because I use less food when I'm resting. In fact, I could, if I was being smart and really wanted to min-max it all, I could sit with everyone else, and that uses less food as well. Frenchie, there we go. I was going to say Frenchie seems to be opposed to sitting. It's fun that this is a game that has a role-playing reason to sit. Most role-playing games do not, and you just don't sit anywhere. I can't think of the last role-playing game where I chose to sit. But, yep, this one has one. Alright, so Angel's healed. If Angel's healed, everyone else should be healed. Because Angel was the last. So let's get everyone up. Let's have Queen carry Red Rain. Let's see. So she is particularly encumbered now. Probably because of the amount of meat she's carrying. So let's trade some of that meat to Silvershade. Or like all of it, I suppose. Now she moves at 18. We'll trade a sleeping bag over too. Alright, she moves at 19. She's no longer the slowest. Silvershade is still fine. Follow Thor, and Thor, lead us out of here. Also, I could have had Thorns carry these sleeping bags again as well. That's not a terrible idea. Thorns can do it without encumbrance. And it's helpful to always know where your stuff is being carried. I'm just throwing that bandana out. I don't need it. Alright, Frenchie, are you really that slow? Yes, I suppose you are. And that is because your armor is too heavy for you. Okay. Let's fix this. So, Frenchie, you're going to give up your Nadachi, which is too heavy for you, to Ches. So let's rendezvous together, because Ches has a really pathetic Wakasashi. And then Ches, you're going to give that to Frenchie. Now, Frenchie, you are 18 encumbered. You're good. Let's hand that stolen. Actually, let's throw that out. That doesn't really matter. Okay. We're good again. Now we all run at the same speed, I hope. Or rather, 18 or faster. Yep, that's definitely the case. Who are you? And do I need to worry about you? Manhunters. I'm an imposter. Oh, Jesus. Shouldn't have been running on full speed. I don't know what imposter means. Like, what, I'm not a slave? Or I don't know. Sometimes manhunters are stupid. They're always just greedy. They shouldn't be called manhunters. They should be called slaver. I don't know what they are. It doesn't really matter. Let's just avoid them. Alright, so I'm heading through Bast, which is a strange place to be taking me, but sure, I'm just eager to get out of this dusty desert. Let's all follow Thor again, and have Thor lead the way. Now, a lot of the, ooh, you are, okay. The samurai guards aren't, corrupt. Not to say that I agree with the politics of United Cities, but they're not corrupt like all the other people that live around, the area. All the other people, all the slavers and manhunters, they'll make a buck off of the suffering of others, but at least the guards don't. So I know I can walk right past the guards, and providing I'm not doing anything illegal, like stabbing them or stealing or whatever, they'll leave me alone. Oh, there's about to be a war between the Holy Nation and the UC guards. This is somewhat of a battleground. This used to have, of course, cities here, and as you can see, these cities are no more. So, like I said, it is a strange place to find myself walking through, but I could have gone the southern path, but the southern path has me dipping a little bit closer to the Holy Nation than I would want to move. Oh, and here's a bunch of Holy Nation jerks. Then I'm going to swoop around. They're very xenophobic. If you're not familiar with that word, they attack everyone that isn't like regular quote-unquote human or whatever. So if you're different, heck, even if your squad is like too many females, they might even think you're deviant. You need like a mostly male squad to fit in with them. Who are you? Outlaw farmers? You are definitely in the wrong place. The question is, do I want to fight you or not? Given how many Holy Nation are in the area, I could easily beat you guys up, but I wouldn't want to be wounded in this area, because then the Holy Nation squads, the death squads, are going to find me and kill me. So you are not what I'm worried about, but being slowed down by you, that is a different story. You really have to consider that in this game. It's not, can I win this fight? It's, can I afford to be slowed down by this fight? A lot of the fights you can definitely win, one way or another. But the real trick is, once you've won, how safe are you to recover, right? So there's a lot of zones in this area that are just not safe to recover in. Zones that have cannibals, zones that have carnivorous animals, zones that have slavers. The Holy Nation, of course, wouldn't eat me or enslave me. They would imprison me, which is really not that much different than enslave me, but, you know, I'd be serving out a very, very long sentence. So, before I go much further, I'm going to check in on our friends up here. Looks like those dust witches are still underway. I don't see any cactus. Alright, so time to harvest, number of plants, hella... Okay, we've been using the cactus. That's fine. If I want another farm, I could always build up another cactus. I could pause the dust witches and switch over to some other crop. And resume. Alright, green, when you're not working anything, build building materials. Cool. Alright, cool. That's enough of that. Switching over to the queen. And her entourage. That's really what it should be. The queen's entourage. Not escort. But that kind of doesn't fit. Also a reminder to all of the patrons watching. If you have ideas for names for squads. The queen's squad. The squad at the home. All these other squads in between. You just gotta let me know. Because I'm looking to name some stuff. I don't mind picking over farm ruins. Oh, someone's squatting here. It's not just ruins. There's people here. Potentially. There's beds. The beds are owned by the Holy Nation. Yeah, this ruin literally has been picked clean. Well, we're pretty close to World's End. I might as well pass through there. I don't really think I have enough cats to recruit anyone, but if forced, I could sell some of my iron plates if there was someone available to recruit. Once we have an active economy by selling stuff through a trading caravan, we'll have plenty of resources in order to pay the Adventurers Guild to bring potential hiver recruits to us, which will be pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea for a mod that someone made. It's linked, of course, in the description. All of my mods are linked in the description. So if you're ever curious, oh, how you're doing that, or, you know, what's going on that includes a mod, just look at the mod list. It's in the description, and it's free for everyone to look at. Alright, teen. Cool. Yeah, Thorns is getting pretty quick. Pretty quick. Looks like Ches and Frenchie are lagging behind Thor a bit. Not enough that I'm worried about group cohesion falling apart, but something to keep an eye on, just in case they don't get hung up on anything and fall behind. Alright, time to check the many bars of... I could also sell the skeleton repair kit, I suppose. If it meant adding another hiver to a group, happily. That is a payment I'm happy to make. She looks a little crazy. If I saw this in real life, a queen with a giant sort of keg on her chest, wrapped her head in rags and holding a bone dog, walked into the bar, I'd probably be like, guys, what's going on? Be a little suspicious. Alright, well, first bar had no one. Second bar, I can already see a hiver on the roof, but I think he's just a guard. Alright, the roof is cleaned and clear. Down below is just some humans. Bar number 3. Full of broke patrons that can't afford a buck. Man, I really have to... The moral of the story is we all look the same. No, hivers do look pretty different. But at a quick glance, it's not obvious. So like this... Oh, sorry, clipping through the ground. This guard is a hiver, but he's a guard, so you can't recruit him. No hivers on the roof of the last bar. Let's go inside. And then I might poke my head into the travel shop. Because if there's no one to recruit here, and there isn't... I don't see any hivers in here as well. I could take a look at backpacks or maps, stuff like that. That doesn't hurt. And travel shops, unlike a lot of the other shops, don't really close. They stay open 24/7. They're kind of your convenience store. Oh, I also really want a bone dog backpack, don't I? Put on my new bone dog. If they have one. They have like one of everything else. A lot of people have been suggesting I get myself a no, they don't have a bone dog backpack. Get myself a Tower of Ninjas, sure. Iron Spider Pet, I won't be doing that. It's too overpowered. Scrap tent, sure. Mercenary tent, sure. I'm spending my money really poorly here. Just to throw that obvious bit of information out. But I like maps and blueprints. So let's see what got added. The Tower of Ninjas. And some lost library or something or another. And then I learned some blueprints that are never going to matter. Because I'm almost never likely to make them. But this queen, unlike other queens, appreciates knowledge. Speaking of which, one thing that will be on the docket for the upcoming vote is whether or not we lift the embargo or the restriction on hive buildings only. Mostly because the hive building, the only hive building that I'm allowed to make, is really, really frustrating to work with because it doesn't really have a flat bottom. I'm happy to do it, leaving up the decision to all of you of, you know, what kind of buildings I'm allowed to make. But yeah, we'll see how that poll goes. With that in mind, the Southern Queen, all the Western hives. Oof, clipping into the terrain there. All the Western hives live in the traditional hive buildings. Their architecture doesn't really change from hive to hive. Why are you guys falling behind so much? But the Southern hive is sort of squatting in a ruin. So there is a rather large, not to spoil anything, and it doesn't really spoil anything, but there's a rather large iron structure that the Southern Queen lives in that is obviously not an organic hive-like building. So that's another alternative. The alternative being that I will be restricted to all regular hive buildings except for one central structure that the throne sits in. And might also serve as a like a base of operations for crafting and whatnot. Just because it will have a flatter, more open layout. All right, so you all are telling me Ches is the slowest, but yet you run at 20 and Thor runs at 19. Yeah. Now, alternatively, I could run as a group. And let's see if this actually works. A lot of the times I try this, which is why I follow the slowest member. The problem with this is if any one person gets stuck on terrain, the whole group sort of stops to a halt. And you get stuck on terrain kind of often. So right now it looks like everyone's running real nice. The real advantage of this is if I go into the into the map, go into the AI here, I can do follow formation as military. Whoa, sorry about the camera flipping. And then with the military formation, can you guys form up? They're not really formed. Oh, here we go. Are they going to form up? Nope. The queen's like, and she runs off on her own. So this is another one of the issues. I have them following on one another, right? That doesn't necessarily mean they do it. And that's kind of the problem, is even when they're ordered to stick together, they split up. Which is why I tend to just move by following the slowest member. Because it's honestly what is going on here? Okay. I'm going to break up this party. Because I don't really want to see these guys eaten by cannibals. So Silvershade's been practicing lockpick, so he's going to pick the pole. Now, a lot of people have left comments about... Yeah, I know. If you're going to insult my freeing you, I will leave you here. Let me first aid them as well. Oh, unfortunately for you. Oh. Let's first aid them first, because they're going to be like unconscious and malnourished. I don't really know where the cannibals are that like locked and posted these guys. But yeah, if I can starve some cannibals, that's that works for me. Plus, this is good lockpicking practice. I mean, I can't say that that's why I'm doing it, because it's not. But enemy of my enemy is potentially my friend. In this game, that doesn't exactly hold to be true. You can have a hate triangle of 3 groups that hate one another. But I try to make allies where you can. Especially if you all task me to have a trade caravan. If I end up hostile with every faction, that doesn't really allow for trade. Alright, cannibals. Should I fight them? I'm not going to, because I'm deep within cannibal country, and I really don't have an interest in trying to heal up. Oh, but they're getting free licks on me. Heal up deep within cannibal country, because it's really, really annoying to do that, because I feel like I don't have any solid evidence, but I have an idea that when you're unconscious in cannibal country, like, it attracts cannibals, kind of like, you know, insects to honey or something like that. And I don't know if it, like, causes them to appear, but I certainly find myself, when I'm unconscious in cannibal country, being beset by many, many cannibals. Whether a coincidence or not, I am not sure. So I do have some injuries here that I'm going to need to tend to before they fester and slow me down. Jay and Ches among them. And then also this group is getting a little stretched. Whoa, there's scrawny cannibals there. Let's steer around them. Alright, Queen is going to break off from the group a little and do a little luring. Silvershade's being targeted or attacked. Alright, we're fine. We are really, really close to Dead Cat, though, which is the cannibal capital. So it's not a good place to linger. So I want to get healthcare to Ches and Jay already. Whoa, 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 whoa. Jesus. They call it cannibal plains. Oh, wow. I just ran through a whole group of them. I didn't even see them. Y'all blend in real well. That is super true. Oh, they're cooking someone. Now, the original group of cannibals I could definitely take on. This horde of cannibals, on the other hand, is a very different matter. So I'm very happy that I am a Speedy Gonzalez hiver here that they can't catch, because you can't eat what you can't catch. I do like the dramatic terrain shift. Another question that was posed in comments is about the color schema for manufactured armor. So some of the mods that I've enabled allow you to basically dye your own armor. So river raptors, okay, that's friendly enough. I was thinking about that, and I might put that into poll as well. Oh, who are you? There's a group of something following me here, but I don't know who they are. If I go to faction here, I don't have any upcoming events, so I don't know what group this is. Let me just use my camera. I can't look back that far. It's some sort of, if they were hostile, they'd be red, so it's some sort of neutral group behind me, which usually is an indicator of like a trade caravan, but no one is queued to visit me, so I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is. Another thing I could do is swing by the Lost Armory on my way home and pick up whatever materials I can grab. That would be a good use of my time. And there's a lot of other ruins and outposts around here that I have not even checked out yet. And this one isn't even fully looted because I haven't even opened up the armory. And I don't plan on it until I'm able to actually fight the iron spiders. I don't really want to steal my way through. Yes, a lot of this stuff you could say is stealing, but it's not really owned by anyone, right? But if I start to, oh, this one I picked over pretty good. Yeah, there's really nothing all that important in this one. But if I start to just go to all of the different spots on the map and, lure them out, I don't know. I really, really want a big challenge for this series. I don't want it to be like quote-unquote easy mode. So I keep mentioning in the comments to all of you have, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have an iron spider? And I say, yeah, it would be cool, but iron spiders are crazy overpowered, and it's really not hard to knock one out and recruit it. That would make me too strong. Or wouldn't it be cool to have a giant army of bone dogs? Well, yes. Uh-oh, that one's hostile. That would be really, really cool, but bone dogs become very, very strong, and they have nice splash and knockdown attacks, and that would also be very overpowered. I'm trying to... The reason why I picked hivers are they're naturally underpowered. They're naturally weak. No offense to Beep or anyone else. But with that in mind, they're not supposed to be the best, strongest, toughest, whatever. That's just not what hivers are. And that's exactly what attracted me to them, is because they were the natural underdogs. Beep is like champion underdog. Why I call him that is because he's a hive drone. He's not even a soldier. He's not supposed to fight, even. Which is part of the reason why his hive rejected him. Because he wanted to be a soldier, and he wanted to run around and say beep. And he liked his independence, and his, he has a personality. And as do a lot of them. Oops, I didn't mean to pick that up. Nah, I guess I can hold on to the alloy plate. It's not going to kill me. But with that said, this I'm sort of building up a lore for this series, and the idea behind this queen versus other queens is she appreciates individuality more than a lot of the other factions, and doesn't believe in caste systems, and a lot of other stuff that I might not immediately state or mention, but it doesn't mean they're any less true. So with that in mind, I want to be careful about not to champion specific pawns, or not to treat anyone, specially, because I'm aiming to have a faction of equals. There's the queen, of course. I mean, that's a little different. But then the rest of them are like a faction of equals. And that's a strange goal for Kenshi. I know it's pretty trope for real life, but in Kenshi, boy, there is not a lot of equality going on. I mean, it's literally not even built into the game, because certain species are literally better at something than others. So if you're talking about armor smithing, Scorchlanders are just going to be better armor smiths. If you're talking about speed, hivers are just going to be faster. I mean, there's built-in systemic inequality in this game, and that's part of the reason why it's interesting, in my opinion. And championing the hivers is one way to, give myself a nice challenge, which is why I'm not going to cut corners with theft, or make it easy to recruit, or really, I'm just, every possible disadvantage, I will, that's very, very, very not good. I also put Red Rain down. I said very, very, very not good, because if that thing stomped on me, I'd be very unbelievably dead. Alright, Red Rain, can you sneak through? Yes. I'm gonna go pick you back up. The Leviathans get a really pissy when you have numbers on your side. So if you are too numerous, they threaten to attack you. So what I'm going to do right now is just head home and get all these people home. We do have a decent amount of like random assortment of stuff that we're bringing that will advance technology. Plus, if I want to have Queen on excursions, I can leave Frenchie, who I believe has pretty good science. Not quite like Queen's science, but pretty good science to be left to be our in-house researcher. Of course, you're all welcome to make a rule on Saturday, if you submit it as input, that I can't have anyone but Queen. What did you just beat up? I thought I saw combat numbers over here, but I don't see any. Oh, it's beak things. Cool. I'm going to stand around and pick over the dead beak things in a second. Nice. Because this will potentially allow me to build some more buildings. So, yeah. I don't care if it slows them down. Unfortunately, some of the raw meat is going to be consumed as food. There's not really a way around that, as far as I know. But, yeah, it's nice to happen upon a bunch of big things. That will allow us to make one more hive. At least. Probably 2. It's like 1 big thing per hive. It's pretty generous. Considering big things are a little scary tough, but certainly not anywhere near impossible to kill. There's definitely enemies that are way worse than a big thing. Alright, so Angel I think is the slowest. She's carrying a bunch of the meat. And we are loading the zone, which is why it looks like we're underground. There we go. And soon we will have a large united force all up in the Northern Hive. I could pick this place over. Already been there once, but there's still some stuff. Alright, Queen got stuck. This happens every now and then when you're following. Queen really got stuck. She is deep in the middle of that rock. Alright, so she's going to need some help. I'm going to send Silvershade back to help. When you're stuck like this, sometimes what you got to do is you got to pick the pawn up or the character up with another and just get them out of that bind. So this is exactly how that looks. It looks weird, I know, but you kind of get used to it. Kenshi is a wonderful game, but it has a lot of, let's call it character. And by character, it means it was a very, very ambitious project that sometimes crashes and sometimes has weird bugs, like cities that have no NPCs or stuff like that. And there's a lot of workarounds that you have to do. You have to learn along the way to make the game more playable. But honestly, it doesn't bother me at all. I wouldn't... Some people are bothered by little nuisance issues like that, but honestly, the game is just too good to be bogged down by the occasional buggy minutia, which there is not much of. Okay, I am trying to... This is like playing Frogger or something. I'm trying to get through these iron spiders without being... Oh, God! Not good, not good, not good, not good, not good. Okay, I was doing a great job until Jay and Ferris got massacred. So what I'm going to do is send everyone over right now, over the bridge, and Silvershade is going to go help these guys. I don't know if I did that damage, though. I'd be surprised if that was me. It could have been. Alright, so Ferris just fell unconscious. And is conscious again. And I don't know why you have big meds, but you're going to be patching yourself up. Oh, so I guess the spider can cross. That answers that question. Okay, well, Silvershade and Green... And actually, well, yeah, hold on. Squad. Green. Jobs are off. We now have a different issue. So Ferris is going to have to take care of himself and Jay. So we're moseying on over towards Jay. Queen, put Red Rain down. Down, like actually down. Alright, Green, you are going to hold and shoot. Queen, you're going to job off, hold, shoot. Silvershade, you're going to come up from behind and shoot. We unfortunately got to kill an iron spider. I aggroed it, it crossed, and now it's my problem. So what I'm going to do is everyone else is going to hold. I'm not really interested in immediate decapitations because everyone got all gung-ho. Actually, this iron spider seems to be a little frozen at the moment. kind of computing, I guess, so you could say. Alright, so Ferris has patched himself. No, patched Jay up fully and now working on himself. I will check back. Yep, so apparently I suck at Frogger. Ferris is going to limp towards the base. While everyone else goes passive. So they all are welcome to move about the base or whatever, just don't come help. Yeah, I don't know why this spider is all bugged out now. I was ready to kite and fight, but it seems to be not working, so that's totally fine. I accept that. I bet if I got closer, it would start moving again. Yep. Confirmed. Well, at least we have use for that bed, right? That we had constructed and didn't really have use for so long. Oh, Thorns can't jump in a bed, though. Thor can. And we don't have to rent it. Alright, this thing is all out of oil. So there we go. It is la dead. So if you're, well, it's also flying up in the air. Let me pick it up to bring it. Honestly, I can't reach it. It is too much flying in the air for me to even reach to kill. Alright, so Ferris, you're moving too slow. I'm gonna go pick you up. I don't want them close to this spider if it wakes up. Jay, you're gonna take Thor's bed. Thor, everyone else is trying to jump in the bed. There we go. I don't know how to reach a flying spider that defied. Clearly the terrain is a little glitchy around here, and what ended up happening was it sort of started flying. Alright, well, that's about all the time I have for this episode, guys. So thank you so very much for watching. If you have any tips, tricks, feedback for me, drop me a line. If you have any questions about the series, let me know. If you have feedback that you'd like to see represented on the poll, you got to submit it on Discord. If you're curious about my schedule, it's Rhodomont.com. If you're curious about Discord, you can find the link in the description or the link on Rhodomont.com as well. And I'll have to catch you all later. Thanks to all of my viewers and patrons for allowing this channel to succeed, and I'll catch you all next episode. Adios.